Okay, so zoom in a bit. So yeah, so we just did a new release with alpha for all the channels, alpha, beta, stable, the older LTS as well as the newer LTS. Things were pretty smooth, and uh, with the new release out last week, it's good to target newer cadence, newer release around mid of July. So we could target a date of basically the 11th of July. So we could have the release on the 11th of July week. Okay, going forward. So one thing I wanted to discuss in this meeting on how we go forward, because we folks are yeah, so we folks are working on a couple of issues and features. So I was wondering like what would be a good path forward to track them, and so as to know during the release planning like how things are progressing. Any thoughts on that? Do we go like through all the folks and get a status update on which issues people are working on?
So you talk about the issues into the upcoming column, into the backlog, or
Yeah, so
any specific
I mean,
issues?
yeah, so upcoming are primarily like so what we see backlog as most of the issues that are there in the Flatcar issue tracker, right? And then as we move forward, we put it into planned to do, and then when we start working on them, we put it into the in progress one. So just to like we usually technically we should target the plan to do, but if you see the plan to do is also quite huge. So I was just wondering like if we should start targeting like issues that people are actively working on, so that folks from the community know like which issues are worked on, and if folks need help, or if folks can see like opportunity to help, they can start helping.
I think we can use the team load dashboard to
Right.
get this kind of information.
Right. But this call, in this call, if you could, because this call is the like the placeholder for getting the updates or like planning the next release. So how things are looking, so that we start to interact with the community more. What do you think? Because in the earlier, with the previous releases, we usually give a tracking like we usually talk about what are the things we are planning for the next releases, which usually covers the packages, and which is as of now like Dongs and me are working on a couple of them, which a few of them are planned. Okay. Yeah, a few
Okay.
of them are planned, and then but we could talk about the issues that we are working on or we are planning to work on, which we are targeting for the next release.
Okay, so you talk about the package updates, not issues in a global way.
Right. So I'm talking if we can talk more about the issues, or like how are things looking with the issues. It's primarily it's basically like to engage more folks and also getting update on how releases look, so that we can look back to the, if someone is following the community this community calls, then they would have a more clearer picture.
Yeah, so maybe it's first good to say that we have the focus right now on the build automation, and that means we are setting up a new pipeline to build the releases.
Right.
And we still have some open ends there that we need to wrap up. That's why we have so many plan to do items that are build system related and have no direct feature or update that people will see in the resulting image, but it's still important, and that's why we are working on this mostly right now, and not on other package updates and so on that are acute.
Right. Okay, so in that scenario, we can take the release planning as like we could start off with the just to give an update on the things that we are working on, the focus items that are getting worked on, and how is the status, and then we go over to the package updates and issues if some issues are getting worked on. If that sounds good. This is primarily for the future cause. Then I'll prepare a bit, and then have that meeting so that folks participate more and we can get more folks on board. Sounds good.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, so as Kai mentioned, we are working on the automation pipelines. So these don't directly affect on the image, but they do make the pipeline which we use to release Flatcar much easier and more friendlier to contribute and like to work on. So that's not directly user facing, but yeah, that's behind the scenes part. But yeah, that if you're looking to contribute, these are the issues that are getting worked on and are listed in the plan to do section. So feel free to ping us on the Matrix channel. The next going ahead, as I talked, we would have the releases in the 11th of July, 11th of July, and we would be targeting. So we are working on so given a status, Dongsu is working on the glibc update, and it includes other packages as well. We are updating the Vim to 5066. Me and Dongsu talked a bit on it today, so I'm trying a few hacks today on that to get that working. On the other side, we updated the CIFS utils upstream, so that got merged. So we would pull the Gen 2 upstream changes into, so that would get the new update. Sudo is also clean, and Benutis is also all tests are passing. So I'll create a PR for that one. And going forward, I did update the systemd. So there's a new systemd out. Apps, it was updated in May, so we could target the new system, putting in the new systemd into. We would need to check how things look like, what are the changes that that is bought in the newer one, and after that we can go forward. Anything else that you folks want to add? Dongsu, Kai, Matthew?
I have been working on glibc upgrade, and I hit an issue with update engine in ARM64. So I'm not sure what's going on right now. And so the other packages, ADCLI and GDP, those are also dependencies of glibc upgrade. So I'll try to debug until this week, end of this week, and if still there is some remaining issue, then I will just merge normal packages, only GDB and ADCLI, and glibc next releases. I'll let you know.
Cool, thanks. Matthew, Kai?
Yes, on my side, I started to work on the SE Linux update, at least to bring some clean foundations for the community and for folks from the community to be able to build something into these foundations. So I would expect to have it in the next alpha. It's only the regular updates of the SE Linux package we are currently into the OS, but it needs to backport some patches into the updated builds. But yeah, I plan to do that for the next release.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, just missing parts in the new CI pipeline, build pipeline, and then also in parallel, we are setting up a public CI for pull requests, and that should share the code more than it currently does, and also include testing with Cola. So that's all, yeah, the work that we have to do.
Thanks.
And regarding the public CI, can we use it now for just for testing purpose? I know it doesn't run the test, but just if you want to build the images and see how it works with the workflow.
Yeah, building images works, and we currently have the problem that we didn't do the right calculation for RAM usage and so on, and there's some tweaking ongoing now for LXD shared memory usage and so on. So it's a bit flaky because if you run too many tests or builds in parallel, it will fail. But yeah, that's the next thing we have to fix.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I have a quick version on the quick question on the timeline. Does it make sense? Like, do we have a reason to get the new release out in the week after next? Because I'm not sure. We just discussed to kind of increase the gap between releases to a month. Is there any pressing update that needs to get out?
So there are a couple of CVs that gets fixed in the upcoming ones. So that's the reason. But we can always push forward to the 4 weeks, basically, like the 19th, 18th of July week.
I think that's a good thing given the changes to the build pipeline that we're currently doing. So that would give us 1 more week to wrap those up, and it would be awesome if like the next release can happen on the new pipeline. That would be amazing. I think that's a goal to work towards, but number of items that we still need to cover.
Sure, we can totally then in that case push it to 18th of July. And just so folks know that we to the folks who are watching it later, we have increased the cadence to 4 weeks. So since we already had a release, we will have the release after 4 weeks. So that's the discussion. Yeah. Daniel, anything to add? Or we can probably end the call. Okay, so just to Daniel, we are having the box smashing day on 8th of July. Yeah, cool. So just to give a reminder or let you know, folks, that we are having a box smashing day on 8th of July. So if you folks are around, we all would be around on the Matrix channel, and do folks feel free to join in. Cool. Yeah, that's all for this week. This release planning. See you in the community meeting.
I got one more thing. Sorry, we have a few connection and audio issues on my end. I'm a little slower today. The other thing we were considering is to promote the beta to stable, if that is an option. And I see we didn't plan for that.
Oh yeah, sorry, I did not discuss that, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's correct. So we would promote so that number is wrong, but I was planning around the same thing, because around the timeline, speaking of the timeline, we would need to do that upgrade, because it has been some time now since we did the stable upgrade. So yeah, so I'll update those version in there. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Awesome. No, I have this this PR in the current beta release that just went out, which is the ARM64 so the ARM64 image, and I just got news from Mike, who's a user of a larger cluster, and they tested the ARM64 SSD and they're very happy. So it would be cool if that could be lined up for the end of July release.
Sure. Yeah, so I think it makes sense to do both beta and beta and the upgrade for 3.2.77.1.0, and this was 3.2.7.2.0. I guess this is the number.
So my connection keeps freezing. I'm not entirely sure how much of that got through.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anything else to add, or we could end the meeting here? Cool. Thanks, everyone, for joining. See you everyone at the next community meeting.
See you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
So